Lesson 313, Comparing Decimals. The main focus in this lesson is for you to be able to write a number sentence using greater than, less than, or equal to signs, for you to explore decimal comparison number stories, and so that you can solve number stories and other problems by comparing decimals. But let's start with our mental math and fluency first. Round 405,080 to the nearest 100,000s. If you need to pause the recording to make sure that you're doing this on your own, go ahead and do that now and see if you come up with the right answer. You should first underline the 100,000s place, which is the number 4. The number to its right tells you what to do with that 4. Look at your roller coaster sheet. If it's 4 or lower, you leave the number the same. So this 4 would stay the same. Every number after it would become a 0. So your answer would be 400,000. Again, the first step you should do is underline the place value of what they're asking. So it's asking you to do the 10,000s place. You should underline it, draw your arrow. The number to the right of it tells you what to do with that 0. 5 on up, we round that number up 1. So it should be 1. Everything after it becomes 0. But we don't leave off that number 4. We bring it down. So when we round it, it should be 410,000. And the final one. We're looking at the thousands place. So go ahead and underline the thousands place. Sorry, I'm doing a quick little cleanup there. So the thousands place is the 5. We draw an arrow from the number right next door. The 0 is telling me, hey, let's let that alone. So it's 405,000 because every number after that becomes a 0. Very good. So write a number sentence using the symbols greater than, equals, or less than to show which decimal is larger, 0.95 or 0.3. Be prepared to explain how you know. Remember that 0.3 represents 3/10 0/100. 0.95 represents 9/10 and 5/100. So 0.95 is greater than 0.3. Think of it as a number line. If this was 0 and this was the number 1, halfway would be 0.5. So just like when you normally count, this would be 0.1. Approximately. I'm not using a measuring tool here, so I'm kind of guessing where these would be placed. This would be 0.2. This would be 0.3. This would be 0.4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, that's a 0 there. 0.8. 9. And then 0.95 would be halfway between 0.9. Remember, I can add a 0 here. 0 and 1.0. So 0.95 would be approximately right here. Remember, you're always allowed to draw a number line whenever you're looking at numbers, and you want to make sure that you use some sort of visual if you need it, Or you could have drawn boxes and drawn a 100 square box and filled in 0.3, which would have been 30 of those, or 0.95, which would have been 95 out of 100. The next problem is asking you, if you have a box of dental floss that contains 50 meters of floss, Samantha used 0.4 meters to floss her teeth, and her brother Eli used 0.56 meters to floss his teeth, who used more dental floss? Again, think of it as 0.56 means that you have 5/10 and 6/100. 0.4 means that you have 4/10 and 0/100. So if we look at place value, the zeros are equal to each other. They're 0. The two numbers in the tenths place are different. 5/10 is more than 4/10. So right away I know that 0.56 or 56/100 is more than 0.40, which is 4/10 or 40/100. So color each grid to show the decimal. Circle the grid that shows the larger decimal. You're going to go to Math Journal, page 102. You're going to color the grid as requested. Remember, it's giving you two numbers, 0.5, and it's giving you 0.87. Go ahead and pause the recording now and do that page. When you are done, I want you to bring it back to me. This is an assessment check. Thank you. Pause your recording. I'm not for sure if this caught it on the recording. I had an interruption, so I apologize for that. Remember, you are doing the assessment check-in, page 102. When you've completed that, bring it up to me and I will check it for you. And then you can restart the recording and move on to the next assignment. Thank you. If you are listening to the recording again, you must have already checked in with me on Math Journal page 102. And now your next piece to do is Math Journal page 103. You are going to be doing math boxes. And with those math boxes, it's asking you to compare the duplicate days, digits in each number by completing the sentence. So basically what it's asking you is, if you have to compare 5.336, the digit 3 to the left is how many times as large as the digit to the right. So again, this is what it's asking you. When you complete this page, you may come up to me, show it to me, and then you are going to move on to the next part of 313. So pause the recording now and do Math Journal page 103. That's what page 103 should have looked like. Here are just a few of the answers to page 103. And looking at greater than, less than, equal to. The last paper you're expected to do for 313 is Math Masters, page 140. I have this back in the file folder, so you need to go back there to get it. The directions say, write greater than, less than, or equal to on the lines. So you're just looking at the whole number before the decimal, comparing them, and then looking at the tenths place. If they're exactly the same, then you compare the hundredths place. Go ahead and finish Math Masters page 140 and you are done with 313. 314 is going to be the progress check. So for the progress check, please make sure if there are any Math Journal pages that you have not finished, that you do so, bring them up to me, and you're going to be ready for the assessment. Thank you.